So last session we have discussed about authentications and authorization. Authentication represents identify whether this guy is the right person or not. After that, authorization will comes identify whether this guy is having access or not. For suppose guys, when I am entering into one office premises, first they will security guys they will check whether I have the identity card or not. If I have the identity card is my authentication. I am going to authenticate myself by using the ID card. Then the security folks knows that okay, he is the right person to enter into the office. Okay, they allow me to enter into the office. After that, let's assume okay, I entered into the office. From there, can I go to anywhere? From there, can I go to server rooms? From there, can I go to any directors' cabins? No. Again, I need authorization. I can go to my workplace, I can sit over there, I can start working over there. That's fine. That's no problems at all. But the problem here is authorization. Authorization is nothing but a permissions. So if I want to enter into one room, there you see all the computers and all, a storeroom, I need to separate access. You can't enter. It's not open for all the employees, right? And if I want to enter into the server room, it is not, you can't enter because there is a access, you need a access. Your ID card will have one access card, right? It will stick to an access card and that access card should have access to enter into the server room. This is called authorizations. Authentication is the way you are identifying who you are. Authorization is the one you need access to, you need the privileges to access the resources. So similar to that, first I am going to connecting to the SQL server. Okay sir, when I am trying to connecting, authentication will come. Once I connected and if I want to access any databases, I need permissions. Okay, so now how do we check it out, sir? First let's check it out. I am going to create one user in my control panel in my laptop. Guys, we'll follow this similar approach and we can do that. Okay, we are going to follow this similar approach. Let's go to the control panel. I already have the notes, guys. I am going to upload all the notes. Okay. Okay. The first thing is, guys, what I am going to do that I am going to test this authentication and authorization. First, what I am doing now here, guys. First, create a user with the password. Create a user password in a control panel. And we know that, right? Control panel under users and all. But if you are using Windows 10 operating system, I am not aware of that. How you can create a user with password in control panel. But I am not aware of that, guys. Okay. But this is my Windows 7 mission, so I can easily create. I can go to the control panel. I can create the users. So now here users and accounts. But let's try to Google it. How to create the user with the password in a Windows 10 operating system. Let's Google it. There should be a way. Okay. So now here I am going to create one user. Let's click on manage another account, and I am going to create one new user with one password. Oh, I already have so many users here. SQL tester, Jonius, SQL dev, Victor. Yeah, let me create one more user. No problem. Create a new account, and he is a standard user. Okay, fine, no problem. And I am going to put the name of the user is, let me say, Sujit. Sujit is the name. Okay, this is the name of the user. Let's say create account. So now we said create the account. So Sujit is the account, and this account I am going to set one password for this account, Sujit. So create a password. I will give. Not complicated, guys. Just I will give the password which I am using everywhere in my testing purpose. Simple passwords. So now here I am going to put hint of the password is your test password. I am going to use the same password everywhere to test these things, to test the stuff. So this is hint of the password. As we know, create the password. Yes. So I created the user Sujit with the password. Okay, this is fine. So now here I am going to close this SSMS component. Now I am going to connecting. I am going to trying to connect to the SQL server. That is what Learn SQL. The SQL server name is Learn SQL. I am going to connecting to the SQL server. That is what Learn SQL. chd-pc/Learn SQL by using Sujit account. Sir, how do you connect to the SQL server by using Sujit account? Because first I need to open SSMS component under Sujit credentials. So I have created a user example. Guys, example here is Sujit. Just one user I created with one password. Example user is a Sujit. So now here let's open the SSMS component. Open SSMS component. So Sujit credentials. Sujit credential is nothing but Sujit username, Sujit user details. With the Sujit user details. Well, when we are trying to opening SSMS component with the Sujit username, you need to enter password also. It will definitely ask for the password. That's why we created this user with one password. Let's try. So how do you open this one? Let's type here in a search bar SSMS. In a search bar I type SSMS. This is what the SSMS component. What you can do, right click on that, guys. If you can right click, you see that it will show that run as administrator. But this is not the one. We have to get one option that is called run as a different user. Run as a different user. And how did you get? Shift button. Just press the shift button, left side shift button and right click. Shift button and right click. Now you will see run as a different user. Run as different user, guys. Right click. Click on a shift button. Press on a shift button from your keyboard and right click on the mouse. Then you will see this menu, short menu, and in this short menu you can get a run as a different user. So now it is asking enter username and password under which account you want to open the SSMS component. So now here I am going to specify here. Open the SSMS component with this user. How do you open this one? Press left side shift button. Guys, don't worry. So now I want make it very clear because I want you to practice after this class, after this session. Press left side shift button. Keep on press it and right click. Sorry. That is common, but let me try with the right side one. Right side one, because I do see this issue. Yeah, okay. Maybe my shift button. Press shift button. Now I am going to specify the shift button. Press shift button. Just 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Please be. Okay, guys. I think here, that can be any shift, no problem. So I said that earlier, right? When I use the right side shift button, it is not worked. That's why from that time onwards, maybe now it is working. Shift button, press shift button and right click, and then choose. Run with a different user. Different user. Okay, this is what here it is, guys. Okay. So now similar way, press the shift button, right click. Okay. So now when I started using, we got this one, guys, and let's type that username. What you have given? Sujit. So now you should be very careful, guys. If you give Sujit, it may not take. Give your computer name. My computer name is chd-pc/Sujit. But this is good practice, guys. Give the computer name. It's nothing but a domain name in a real time, and /Sujit. From which system, where it is created this username under this mission. That's what here it is. That is the intention of this. So identify, get this user under this mission. That is what same mission. Okay. So now password. I given the password, guys. No capital X in the password, and this is what the password I given, and say OK. So now SSMS component is going to open under Sujit credential, under Sujit username. Now from this SSMS component, I am going to connecting to the SQL server, and it will throw the error saying that your authentication is okay, authentication is possible because you are there already in a Windows level, but you don't have the authorization to connect to SQL server. Yeah. So now here it is. So it is opening up now. So I just entered the username, Sujit username and password, and I am opening that SSMS component. Now it is opening. SSMS component is opening. Just wait for a minute, guys. It is taking time because it is going to create internally some folders under this account. The SSMS component will create some default folders for Sujit account. So that's why it is taking time for first time. And second time onwards, it will not create the folders and all again and again. So it will work fine. So wait, guys. Wait. Wait for one more minute. It has to come. I don't know. There is no kind of blockings for this. I don't think so. That's coming up now. Okay, so now it is open. You see that now? Now we got this SSMS component is open under Sujit. You see that here in the username it is showing chd-pc/Sujit and Windows authentication. When you say Windows authentication, so it will verify SQL server first. It will verify whether this user is right user or not with the operating system, and operating system will respond saying that yes, he is the right user. He is there in the system. He is the right user. And again, SQL server also will perform authentication. SQL server will also perform authentication, saying that whether this guy same Sujit is there inside SQL server or not. You see that two authentications. One is authentication should be done by Windows, and also this authentication is done by SQL server. Two authentications, guys. Two layers of authentications. That's what we discussed in the last session. And SQL server also will perform whether this guy is the right guy to connect to me or not. Yes sir, this guy is right guy, then it will allow us to connect. But here the thing is, so now when I say connect button, when I say click on connect, that SQL server will pass these user details to the local. It will take help of Windows system to identify whether this guy is right person or not. Yes sir, he is right person. Okay, Windows authentication is done. Now next step, SQL authentication, SQL server authentication. That means SQL server will verify whether this guy is the right person to connect to me or not. Guys, it's similar to that. Let's assume there is a tech park. In the main entrance, security people are there, and I shown you one ID card. When I show one company ID card, what they will say? They will say, okay, they will allow me inside the tech park. Let's say I am working in one of the company. Let's say ABCD company. I have the ABCD ID card, and the ABCD company is there inside the tech park. And I shown that ABCD ID card. I enter inside the tech park. From there again, I need to show my ID card in that particular office, right? Before I enter into the office, again security people will be there. I need to show my ID card again to them. This is nothing but two kinds of authentications, right? Two ways, two places. So now SQL server also will perform authentication, but the problem is this user is not authenticated by SQL server because this user is not there inside this SQL server. We have not yet created, so it will throw the error saying that see login is failed. First, it is not allowing to connect to the SQL server because authentication is failed. Authentication is failed, guys. Because why? Because this Sujit is not having authenticated by SQL server. If you want to authenticate Sujit by SQL server, what we need to do? We have to add this username, this Sujit, to inside this SQL server. We need to add this Sujit to the inside this SQL server. Then he will be authenticated. Let's see who will do this. Now what Sujit will do? Sujit will take screenshot of this error message, and they will send this error message to the DBS, database administrators. And he will take screenshot of this and send this error message to the database administrators. And database administrators has to take the responsibility to resolve. How they will do? Because login failed for this user means SQL server is not allowing this user to connect to it because SQL server not identified this user, not identified this login or user. Okay, all are okay, guys. And this login or account or user, this user is not authenticated by SQL server. How can we make sure he should be authenticated? That means SQL server should be aware of that. Okay, he is the right user to connect to it. what we need to do, we have to add this user, this is Sujit, inside this SQL server under the logins. Okay, so how do you add it? Who will add it? Database administrator will add it. Then who is the database administrator here? CH Reddy is the database administrator. Now CH Reddy, what he is going to do that? He will open SSMS component under CH Reddy credentials. Now CH Reddy, guys, you see that. So now I am going to open this, click shift button and right click and run as administrator, run as a different user. Now I am going to open one more copy of SSMS component under CH Reddy credentials, because CH Reddy is going to grant this access. So now I am going to opening SSMS components, two components, two copies of components, one component, one copy will be opened by Sujita account, another SSMS component will be going to opening now by CH Reddy account. Okay, so this is anyway Sujit is not unable to. See, now two components I open, two copies of SSMS components, and let's take this one. See that this component is opened by CH Reddy, and CH Reddy is having complete access, guys, because by default CH Reddy is the administrator, so he will have complete access on this SQL server, and CH Reddy can connect to it and he can do any activity on this SQL server. Let's say connect. So now see that here in Object Explorer he is connected successfully. And this is what Object Explorer will, and you can see. And here CH Reddy is the DB. How do you know that is the CH Reddy is connected? Here you see that username. You can see that username here, guys. ch-pc/CH Reddy is the username. And here under security folder, under the logins folder, we need to add that user. What is that user? Sujit. We need to add it over here. How did you add? So now it's very simple. So now here this one. So third one is SQL Server authentication will perform. Okay, and now here Windows authentication is passed. Windows authentication is okay. Windows authentication will be passed, and whereas SQL Server authentication is failed. SQL Server authentication is failed since this user is not yet added. This user is not yet added to the SQL Server logins. So if the user is there inside SQL Server logins, then SQL Server authentication also will get passed. As soon as when SQL Server authentication is also passed, then that user is able to connect to the SQL Server. So now here as soon as we means DBA added this user. Guys, I want you to do this practice, guys, right off today only. Okay, CH Reddy -PC. This is computer name /Sujit. As soon as we added this user to the SQL Server logins, then SQL Server authentication will pass. SQL Server authentication will pass. So this is what, guys. So now two things. If you want pass Windows authentication, the user should be in a control panel or else in a domain level. Then Windows authentication will pass. And second thing is the user should be there in a SQL Server logins. That is also must. Both must. Then that the SQL Server will allow him to connect. Okay. This is second one. So now approach the DBA. Approach DBA to add the user account or user login, account or login, whatever it is, guys. Okay, accounts to the SQL Server logins. So DBA is the right person. So how do we do this now? How the DBAs will do, guys? So now here I am going to do this one. So now here you can see that security folder. Under security folder we have the logins. Right click on the logins and say new login. I am adding. He is the new person, right? I am adding. And here it is. Click on this. Enter that login name. What is that login name? ch-pc/Sujit. You don't need to enter, guys. You can search for that user also. Click on search button and go to the advanced and find now. You will see all the available users, default users, all the system users and all the users over here. And you select that. Where is that Sujit here? Here it is the Sujit. And select that, save OK and OK. Or else you can type also, no problem. And this is Windows authentication and say OK, guys, that's it. Say OK, that's it. So let me take screenshot of this one. Okay, that's it, guys, and say finally OK. So now if you can expand that logins, we added Sujit here. Now Sujit can able to connect. That means SQL Server authentication will pause now. If you can try that, go back to that user, go back to that SSMS component and check it out. Now Sujit is able to connect because authentication is paused. Okay, this is fine, sir. Let's go back, guys. Go back to that window. So now add a login. Now, guys, no one is add a login. How can we add this login? Login steps. Connect to SQL Server. Expand. Security folder. And right click on the logins. And choose new login. Guys. And then a new window will open. Then enter the username with the domain name, domain or computer name. With the domain or computer, it is mandatory, guys. Computer name, and then say OK. That's it. And then finally say OK. That's it. So now the login will be added over there. Okay. So now this is a Sujit. Now this time I am going to say connect. This is Sujit, guys. This let's say connect. Now this is connected. Windows authentication is passed and SQL Server authentication is passed. So SQL Server authentication is passed after we added that Sujit under logins folder. See that Sujit is added. Okay, authentication is done. Now next is authorization. Next one is authorization, guys. So now here Sujit is trying. So there is so many databases are there. So he is having very less access. Sujit is having just he can able to connect, but he can't see all that. Whatever are there here, and he see here when he is trying to access our database SQL DBA 02 database. He is trying to access our 01 database. So let's click on this plus symbol. See that he got the error message. The database is not accessible. He is not having permissions. He is not authorized person. He is not having authorization to access any of these resources. Now permissions will come into the picture now. First, for authentication, we added Sujit in the logins. Inside this security, inside that logins, we added that guy. Who is added? DBA is added. CHRD is added. This is Sujit over here. And now again he has to ask DBA, boss, I want to access this database. I want to see what tables are there. I want to write select command. Read operations. Read means select. I want to insert the data. Insert, update, delete means write operations. I want to read and write operations are in this database DBA01 database. Can you please grant me access? So authentication, authorization will come into the picture now. So how they will grant access? So after adding the logins, so now authorization will come, guys. Authorization is nothing but permissions. Permissions are access. So guys, so what type of access you can grant, how you will grant, all that we can see that, guys, one by one. Okay. So how you will grant? It's very simple, guys. Very simple. Granting the access. Authentication, and this is authorization to databases. Database or databases. So how you will get? So now here it's very simple, guys. So who will grant access? Who will grant access to the databases to a user? DBAs. So now here DBA always grant access to the users on the databases. So now here how you will grant access? So now here, when you say read access, when you want to run, sir, I want to run only select command. Select means it's nothing but read access, guys. This is nothing but read access. So I'm going to make these notes, guys. It's very important because people will always ask, I need a read access. Read access means they want to run the select commands. So when they will say write access means they wanted to run insert, update, delete. Write access, insert, update, and delete. Okay, and I want full access. Sometimes people will say complete access. They will say complete access or full access. So these are the terms what people will use these guys. Okay, these are not kind of pure technical terms. Complete access or full access on the database. Then we are making that as a owner access. So now that is what we are going to say, owner access. So when I grant owner access, they can perform any actions, right? They can perform read, write, all DDL, all DML, DDL operations. DML, we know that already, guys. We already discussed, right? DML, DDL, and all other operations and executions, all that, and all actions and all operations. Any operations they can do that once we granted full access. So how to grant read access only, sir? So now we are going to do that. We are going to grant access to read access to the Sujit on a SQL DBA database. So now let me save these screenshots, guys. Okay, so now DBA. This is what a DBA CHRD. You see that this is now SQL server is connected by CHRD, and the CHRD has to grant access to the Sujit on a DBA database. How he grant? So this is what the login. Right click on the login, go to the properties. Just CHRD. What he is doing is right click on the login, go to the properties. So let me do that, guys. How we will grant? So right click on the login, go to the properties, and then user mappings, and then select the database on which you want grant access. Select the database on which we need to grant access to the user. Okay, guys, and select the database, and then select the roles. Select the role or roles. So now here I am going to make a note of that, which role is for what purpose. Okay, that's fine. Okay, guys, let's go back to that window now here. Okay, we got this one. This is what the properties, login properties of Sujit. Go to the user mapping. Go to the user mapping, and here select the database. And which database you want grant access to this Sujit? Here it is, Sujit. So on a DBA 01 database. So select that checkbox. Select that checkbox under user mappings. This is what the database. Once you selected the checkbox, in the bottom you see the roles. What access you want grant? What access you want grant on this database? So reader. So now data reader. Data reader means he can able to run only select operations. Data writer, he can run the inserts, update, deletes. So now I return that nodes, that roles, guys, here, server roles and all. You can see that here. So same thing, guys, whatever the nodes I return, same nodes are here. Okay. So grant access to, here I use a different usernames, that's fine. See here, bulk admin, here database roles. So this is the database roles. Let me add these roles to that file. I always happy to type these things again and again for every class. See the database roles. What is the purpose of database roles? If you add this role, he can able to take the backup of the databases, and if you add this role, he can run the select commands. If we can add this role, db underscore data writer, they can run insert, update, delete commands. These are all the roles what we are seeing over here, guys. over here. You see, this is all the rows you are seeing here, same rows. Okay, and you can add whichever they wanted to perform. We can add that specific role. So now finally they want to perform only read operations. That means only they can run the select command, but not insert, update, delete. So let's say okay. That's it, guys. Just okay. That's it. So now we granted access to Sujit on the database to run only select commands. That means they can only read the data from the tables, but they can't do any other activities. They can't insert, they can't create the tables, they can't insert, they can't update, they can't delete, they can't do any other activities. So now let's go to that DBA1. See that this time we can able to expand, but earlier when he is trying to expand this database, it was throwing the error. And he can able to see the tables also, what tables are there. And he can see what data is there in the table 1, table 2, he can able to see that. But he is trying to create new tables in this database. It will throw the error saying that you do not have the access. If we want to create new tables, then what access we have to give? Here it is the DB admin, DDL admin. DDL admin role can allow him to run create, alter, drop and truncate commands. And the data writer can allow him to run insert, update, delete. So let's try this. So now this is what the Sujit is connected to DBA1 database, and let me write down that one, guys. Use space crystal spiders. Why should I type? Yeah, DBA1 go and create table. I will come to that. Yeah, I will come to that. Create. Let me finish this one. Create table T3 and ID integer name vector of 100. So that's it. And he is trying to create a table, but it will throw the error saying that boss, you don't have access to create the table in this database. See that? We got the error message. Create table permission is denied because he is not having access. Let's see, he is able to read the data from the existing table. Yeah, he is able to see the data, but this is having huge amount of data. That's fine. He is able to see the data. Okay, so let's see, he is able to insert any record in the table T1. He is not having access. I am trying to insert a record into table T2, T1 is not having access. It is saying insert permission is denied on the table T1 for this user Sujit. So now here again Sujit will go and ask the DBA, boss, I am trying to create the table, I am getting this permission denied. I am trying to insert, I am getting this permission denied. I can only run select commands because CHRD is the DBA, he granted only for read access. So let's ask that CHRD again, give the complete access. How can he do that again? Go to the logins. Who is doing these activities, guys? CHRD is performing. CHRD is granting access to Sujit. Right click on the Sujit, go to the properties of that login and go to the user mappings and go to this database, and here we granted only reader role on this database for Sujit. For Sujit user we granted only reader role. And let's go to the writer. Data writer means insert, update, delete also. DDL admin. DDL admin means he can create the tables and drop the tables and modify the tables and truncate the tables. That's what DDL admin. And finally say OK. So we granted now 3 roles. Or else what you can do, instead of all these 3, you can simply say owner. That's it. He is having complete access on this database, so he can perform all these operations, reader operation, writer operation, and DDL admin. All that he can able to do that. Then we added him as a DB owner. So but this all depends on the requirements, guys, right? So people will ask DB owner to perform so many operations, then we can grant DB owner and the reader, writer and admin and say OK. So now this time CHRD is granted read access, write access and DDL admin access. So now he can able to insert this record. Let's insert. Yeah, he is able to insert. See now, as soon as when he granted, that access is reflected here, and he can able to create the new tables here. See that? So now he is able to create new tables in this database T3. Okay, so this is what granting the access to the users on the different data. I mean, we can grant access similar way. The DBA can grant access to the Sujit on other database also. Let's see that. Go to the Sujit, right click, and go to the properties, and go to the user mappings, and select the database on which database you want grant. Let's say this time DBA02. Select that database checkbox. This is important, guys. If you select like this and you can't select any of this checkbox, you have to click on checkbox and then say this time owner on this DB2 database, DBA02 database. Okay, and say okay. So that's it. So now Sujit is able to access DBA02 database also now. See that. And when he is trying to access other databases, so okay, he is a CH Reddy, sorry. Go to the Sujit window here. This is the Sujit window session, and go to the Sujit DBA2, he is able to access 02 also. And when he is accessing Crystal Spiders Institute 062, he is unable to access. Okay, this is what, guys, granting the access to the user on the SQL server. So granting the access on the databases and its objects comes under authorization. Okay. And authentication is nothing but add the login in the control panel domain. It's nothing but Windows authentication. First Windows authentication will happen, and then SQL server authentication will happen, and then authorization will come into the picture. So this is the order, guys. This is what the security, and still we have so many things, and we are going to discuss in the next session.